lost in the noise, seeking the light. Echoes of ages, shining so bright. Welcome to ancient wisdom, stories anew. Wisdom for me and wisdom for you.
From cloud gazing to purpose, how a lazy youth learned to value every moment. In a sun-drenched village nestled in the hills of Judea, there lived a young man named Uriel. Uriel was not known for his bustling energy. Indeed, his primary ambition seemed to be discovering just how many hours of daylight could be dedicated to the profound contemplation of cloud formations, preferably from a comfortable patch of shade beneath a sycamore tree. While his family and friends often reminded him, with growing exasperation, of the swift passage of days, Uriel regarded time as a boundless ocean, its shores too distant to concern him. One market day, a wise elder named Rabbi Adin arrived in the village. He was a man whose face was a roadmap of kind wrinkles and whose eyes held the gentle gleam of much understanding. Word of his thoughtful counsel spread like wildfire, and soon Uriel, his curiosity momentarily winning a skirmish against his usual lethargy, decided to seek the old rabbi's guidance. He found Rabbi Adin seated not under a grand banyan, but beneath the familiar shade of a venerable carob tree near the village well, observing the quiet flow of daily life. With a respectful, if somewhat unhurried bow, Uriel approached. "Rabbi," he said, "I am told you carry much wisdom. Can you perhaps guide me on how to make my life, well, more than just a series of very restful afternoons?" Rabbi Adin smiled, a slow, warm smile that seemed to acknowledge both the young man's candor and his underlying unease. From a simple cloth bag, he drew out not an hourglass, but a small, slightly cracked clay jug, the kind used for carrying water. He placed it on a rock beside him, and Uriel noticed water seeping from the crack, dripping steadily onto the thirsty earth below, each drop making a tiny, distinct mark in the dust before vanishing. "This jug, Uriel," the rabbi said softly, his gaze on the dripping water, "is like the measure of our days, and each drop that falls is a moment from your life." Uriel watched the water, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. "Now," Rabbi Adin continued, his voice gentle but clear, "imagine that every time you allow an opportunity for good, for learning, or for simple, honest work to pass by unused, another drop has fallen, absorbed by the earth, never to be retrieved. Each moment spent in idleness when purpose calls, each task postponed without true cause, another drop slips away, gone forever." Uriel listened, the steady plink, plink, plink of the water creating a rhythm to the rabbi's words. The usual comfort of his daydreams felt, for the first time, a little hollow. "Time, young Uriel," the rabbi said, his kind eyes meeting the boy's, "is a sacred gift from the Almighty. It waits for no one, not for kings, nor for scholars, nor for young men who are fond of watching clouds. Every breath, every sunrise is a fresh measure poured into your jug. If you allow it all to seep away without purpose, you will one day find your jug empty and your heart filled with the dry dust of regret." A sense of urgency, unfamiliar yet stirring, began to move within Uriel. "But Rabbi," he asked, leaning forward, "how can I change this? How can I learn to cherish these drops and use them wisely before the jug is dry?" Rabbi Adin's smile returned, full of encouragement. "It begins not with a sudden flood, Uriel, but with attending to each drop. Start by setting a worthy purpose for your day, even a small one. Prioritize your tasks like a good farmer who knows when to plant and when to weed. Break down larger duties into smaller, more manageable efforts and focus on completing them one by one, giving each its due attention. Learn to guide your day rather than letting it simply drift by, the rabbi added. Remember, true accomplishment, the kind that brings lasting satisfaction and blessing, comes to those who understand that each moment is precious, an opportunity to add a little light to the world or a little wisdom to their own soul. Uriel took the rabbi's words to heart. The image of the steadily dripping water from the cracked jug stayed with him. He decided then and there to mend the cracks in his own use of time. He began by setting a simple order to his days. When his mind sought its familiar refuge in idleness, he would recall the rabbi's words and the sound of those vanishing drops. He cleared away the clutter of unnecessary distractions and focused. Slowly, at first, then with growing momentum, Uriel noticed a change. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. His newfound dedication and discipline began to yield fruit. Tasks he had avoided for years were accomplished. He discovered talents he never knew he possessed, pursued with a quiet diligence. He even found joy in the rhythm of work and purpose. The villagers, including his own family, observed his transformation with gentle surprise and then with open admiration. Over time, Uriel understood that the true value of time was not just in tasks completed, but in the life lived. He spent precious moments with his family and friends, sharing stories and laughter, knowing these too were golden drops. He learned that time well used was not a burden, but a path to a richer, more meaningful existence. Years passed, and Uriel became a man respected in his village, not for grand pronouncements, but for his quiet achievements and the wise, purposeful way he lived each day. He often shared the story of Rabbi Adin and the dripping jug, urging the younger generation to cherish the sacred gift of their moments, for each one, used with intention, held the potential to shape a life of blessing and true fulfillment.